gasoline engine powered car, I see few drops of water on the ground. It probably happens even today on a really cold day. You turn the engine on, water that comes out of the tailpipe of the fuel cell is really not in liquid state, it's in vapor phase. So it just mixes with the atmosphere and disappears. If I increase the partial pressure of my reactant, it's like increasing the pressure of the forward reaction, my voltage goes up.
Sir, what do you think about the fuel cell cars in India? Is it possible in future, or it is already there in it?
Yeah, so fuel cell cars are still some distance away in India. The countries where fuel cell cars are being demonstrated are United States, Europe, China, and Japan. I will say India is a little bit behind in the fuel cell field, primarily because the cost is still high, and also in order to use fuel cell cars you need hydrogen refueling stations, and so those are not common worldwide, and they are even less common in India. I'm not aware of any commercial station in India that is supplying hydrogen.
Yeah.
So there is a cost issue and there is the hydrogen infrastructure issue.
Yeah. So right now we are going through slowdown in India. It's happening, if you know about it. And as you spoke in the session, the cost is a factor.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think when you look at the cost, electric vehicles will be beneficial for the customers as well as the OEMs?
Yeah, so electric cars are definitely easier to implement than fuel cells, primarily because fuel cell cars need hydrogen refueling stations. Electric cars, all they need is a plug point to charge your car. So I think for the Indian market, it will be similar to the rest of the world, where electric cars will be easier to implement.
Yeah. As Mr. Ram said, the hybrid will be a good option in India, because looking at the country's diverse nature.
Yes.
So what do you think about
I
it?
completely agree with that. In Indian driving conditions, there is a lot of stop-start type of situation going on, and that is where hybrid cars are. They have the greatest benefit. So, I mean, when you come to a stoplight, I find that most people still have their engines on. You're wasting fuel unnecessarily. You're creating emissions unnecessarily. If you can stop the engine when you come to a stoplight, that is a great benefit right there. Very simple to do. Also, every time you hit the brakes in a hybrid car, the kinetic energy of the vehicle is converted back to electrical energy, and it is stored in the battery. So you can improve your economy significantly by hybridizing your drivetrain. So I think for Indian conditions, this would actually be a very good option.
If you want to discuss the future, what you're working on it, would you like to?
Yeah,
give?
sure. So, as I mentioned in my talk today, durability is an issue, cost is an issue. So we are working on new materials that will improve the durability of fuel cells. We are working on new materials that can bring down the cost of fuel cells. I'll discuss this in my lecture tomorrow. In addition, we are looking at things like connected vehicle connectivity. In the future, all cars are going to be connected with each other. Cars will be talking to other cars. Cars will be talking to the infrastructure. Cars will be talking to the traffic lights. They will all be connected by GPS. So we are using all of this, you can call it big data, to improve the economy, the fuel economy of these vehicles. I'll give you a very simple example. Let us say you have a hybrid vehicle. You have a gasoline engine and you have a battery on board. And let us say you know that you have a hard braking event coming up in the next 10 seconds. If there's connectivity, vehicle connectivity, you have this foreknowledge. So if you have that foreknowledge that there's going to be a hard braking event in 10 seconds, you can actually deplete the battery so that when you brake hard, there's enough room in the battery to absorb that surge and regenerative current. Or let's say you know that in the next 10 seconds you're going to be climbing a hill. What you can do is you can actually top up the battery so that when you climb the hill, the battery can give you the juice that you need to climb that hill. So having advanced knowledge about the road situation, the traffic conditions, the terrain, all of these can be used to your advantage to improve fuel economy and in fact reduce wear and tear on the engine as well as on the battery.
Thank you so much for giving your time.
You bet. My pleasure.